have expired. They are over 30 years. That's why they are on latch when they are moving. That's why they fall frequently. So it takes almost 5, 6, 7 days now to move goods from Lagos to Sokoto, and with the frequent breakdowns. Those trucks are not fit to be on the road. I know the battles we made with NATO then and Amata then. I fought them to stand still, and they attempted to blackmail, but I won. But again, I proposed government to give them soft loan that should be transport back. But if that has been done, we have been able to move those vehicles off the road. But I was asked to apply brake then. If you move them off to convey, it becomes a problem. Then the government must also improve on the waterways. They must drain. The kind of draining we do is not the drains, they don't complete it. And the next year, the following year, because of the rain, those sands are back there. Then investment deficit is another problem. This is just the cost, the percentage. Then average port dwell times. You want to export something, when you are bringing something, it's 20 days. Then they want to have it's a problem. So as an exporter, you get discouraged. The whole thing is destroyed then. So, and then the money is tied down. Then environmental resource too. Most of our products are seasonal. Now mango is coming up again now. Mango is coming up. You will see waste all over when you are traveling. You just see them red. Everything red, wasting. Then our storage system is in crisis. Then emission control is another problem. Then the digital gap is lacking there. Then this is the matrix of what I've just said now. We need to improve on our supply chain. We need zero-time visibility with the digital integration and the insecurity, high insurance and risk premiums on this. Optimization strategies for Nigeria. There is a comprehensive blueprint for raw materials, supply chain. This applies to the council itself. And you look at the strategy pillars, the 6 core optimizations. We look at the issue of the prioritized rail and waterways, improve on the Lagos-Kano corridor, Niger-Benue rivers. This will bring about cost efficiency so that the rail freight is 30% cheaper. Then the safety is there. Then the sustainability with 25% lower. This what you are seeing here is a pictorial view of how River Benue is supposed to be. But it's not from any country. This is the impression, assuming we are talking about industrialization. You have the rail like that, you have the road, you have the port to be effective. But we pray we can do this in our lifetime. The number 2 is that digitization and ICT with deploy real-time tracking. This will give us 20 to 25% delivery reliability improvement, reduction in holding costs, and decrease in fraud and leakages. The third one is green logistics, which I've been talking about, to transit to low emission vehicles. That is CNG, gas. That's gas, then electric vehicles, EV. We are coming up gradually, but they need a lot of charging stations. You cannot have electric vehicles that are charging station and filling station. You just have it then on the road. That is why in UK and US, which I'm more familiar, they are dual, both electric and petrol, both gas and petrol. So you make sure that you have half-tank of PMS. So if the gas finish, you switch. Then if it's electric, the battery runs down, it flash, you just change. But here, some of the vehicles are just electric. So you see police somersault again. People will not be encouraged. Problem you. And OPEC and Co, they just folded their hands and they are smiling that for the next generation, they will still be in the lead. Go and read. They will remain relevant because an attempt to reduce their production is going up because you can't run away. During winter now, see what is happening. So, port policy and alignment, institutional synergy, execution efficiency, and after growth, Nigeria must really key into this. On capacity building, you see the issue of digitization, ICT knowledge, is not a flavor again. When I finish, I will plead for just 10 minutes to talk to you about post-retirement. Because a lot of people did not plan when they retire and they're in trouble later. Already, It's not smiling. So the issue of everything you do now has to go with ICT. So you must, my DG, so you must upgrade your management to be IT compliant for their tomorrow. So that when they wake up tomorrow, when they're no longer in the system, they will have something to do. Without IT today, tomorrow you can't do anything. You can't do. Excuse me, please. So I'm moving fast. Then PPP, public-private partnerships. Then there's the benefits and the cost reduction potential of those 6 pillars. And the full implementation of Position Nigeria. Nigeria is supposed to be the lead in Africa, with respect of this. I've been talking about this. The only solution has to do with multimodal transport optimization. Revolutionary Nigerian raw material supply chain. This is where the council really comes in on a more serious note. That is what we call the strategic integration roadmap. And the Nigerian logistics challenges is there, the 95% road reliance, high distribution costs and the losses, then industrial impact, the economic fixed and key sectors. Then on the economic transformation, the cost efficiency, they reduce delays and losses, the multimodal systems eliminate bottlenecks, which I've explained already. There's no point repeating what I've said. Then that will also lead to improved market access and resilience and flexibility. On the policy growth, the RMRGC alignment supports industrialization by ensuring a steady input supply. That is your mandate. And integrate the government investment in rail and port modernization. It's not only carrying out research on all this, it's also to see how the port system and rail can improve to ensure this thing gets to the destination without incurring losses. And this will position Nigeria to fully annex the after. Then the most strengths are weaknesses, that's the matrix. Because when you are doing this, for example, if you look at the issue of the air transportation, there's no much problem. That one goes, that pharmaceuticals, mostly is cargo by air. Because some must be cold chain. Then the inland ports we dredge. Then the issue of rail improvement so that we can get there in time. And the factory and retail distribution for road, those are the kind of things we are looking at. And critical risk to mitigate the infra gaps, the coordination, and the security. Then it still boils down to the issue of the ports and port modernization. There must be continuous improvement and linkage of all the ports to the rail system. There must be linkage. In those days, Apapa Port, we carry all those wagons, everything, about 200 at night, and get to their destination. Today, all those links are no longer efficient there. The raw materials, Nigeria's raw material supply chain cannot be optimized through a seamless multimodal system. You can't run away from this. By road, by rail, by air, and waterways. Then the logistics optimization in critical sectors. This is strategic roadmap for Nigeria's industrial resilience. That's the farmer supply chain, that's farm ecology, the issue of pharmacies. The solution is the air transport strategies. And we go to farmer logistics challenges. In Nigeria today, is the cold chain gaps, high freight costs, regulatory bottlenecks. Then on the issue of regional hubs, with the collaborating in logistics. The raw material, the council must start looking at the issue of logistics and transport integration into the mandate to ensure that when you finish this research, you must also work out the best logistics mode to get this into the final destination. Then expected impact in health logistics, at least we should have a 60% lead time and a 40% minimized waste. Then on the energy security and growth, for example, now government is working on the Abuja Kaduna Kano gas pipeline, that they call it AKK. I purposely put it in full so that I don't say AKK and people will want to kill AKK. So those are the things. Then the delays, but it's moving on, and security vulnerabilities. Then the monitoring and security, those are to deploy this supervisory control and data acquisition. There is an IT application. You because we must monitor all this. And that's the only way we can move on. Then integrated planning, then the PP financing, and regional hubs. This document will serve the council well if you look at it properly. And if the AKK pipeline is done, the strategic plan is to give about 25% on industrial cost reduction and the carbon emission reduction with that 5% and productivity gain. Then innovation in raw materials logistics, the global lessons. Logistics innovation, 2 cases, Kenya and Singapore. Kenya is using solar. About 4 years ago, I was talking to one of the governors on board the same flight. He's from one of these former governors in the northern part of the country. I said, Your Excellency, you have abundant energy. All your rural areas. I said, I've just installed solar for my mother at Ibadan. A 4-bedroom flat, 320,000. All these rural areas can have solar farm and power it for them. I said, just 4-bedroom, 320. So if you can now do the sensors of all those rural areas, do a solar farm. Next I heard was that if I wanted to have 3 billion for solar. Not so much more. I won't mention this. We have abundant. What we need are solar farms. By now, all our rural areas supposed to be lit. Supposed to have light. Then you calculate the residue, which is 25%, because in the villages where they have light, the man will call his son, my son, we have light now, can I have fridge? This one we call, can I have freezer? This one we call, can I have iron? This one we call, I want television. So that residue will take care of this. The day you have stable electricity, you have just started your problem. You need additional 20 kilowatts. South Africa has about 68 kilo, and we are talking about 4, 5 in Nigeria. It's possible. You cannot talk about industrialization without it. The case of Singapore is AI driven. So that is where my team will start looking how to incorporate AI driven to the outcome of the research to move those researches to the correct areas and to the manufacturers and for exports. I've spoken about the solar coaching in the same thing, but to calculate the capacity and get it done. Then the deep freeze dryer, these are the ones who put fruits, to extract the water and make them into powder and store. They're cost effective. The government just needs to fund the council to be able to bring out the best in all this. In Germany, it's what we call the digital twin, simulation of warehouse operations. And in India, they're doing more into pharmacology, automated storage and retrieval, in respect of things. Then the digital twins in Nigeria, adopting digital twins technology in industrial hubs like Kano can optimize raw materials throughput. This allows for precise inventory management, predictive maintenance of storage infrastructures. These are the things we need in an effective storage system. Please, one button is not working again. Thank you.